Imagine being on the deck of a massive steel ship, watching the waves crash below, when all of a sudden the horizon bursts into flames. And immediately, guns bigger than houses roar, the ocean trembles. An entire vessel and more than 1,000 soldiers can vanish in a matter of seconds. This is not a work of fiction. The last time the most potent battleships in the world engaged in direct combat was during the Battle of Jutland, the biggest naval engagement of World War I. Number 11. A war that depended on the oceans. Although trenches, barbed wire, and ceaseless infantry charges are typically associated with World War I, the actual core of the fight was at sea. As an island nation, Britain's survival was largely dependent on imports from abroad. Nearly 70% of Britain's raw supplies, fuel and food came by ship by 1916. The military effort would fail, industry would close, and populations would go hungry if the oceans were not under control. Germany was fully aware of this. Germany intended to drive Britain out of the war completely by undermining Britain's naval superiority. Therefore, the Battle of Jutland was more than just a military conflict. It was a struggle for both world dominance and national survival. Number 10. The rise of dreadnoughts in naval arms race. A new class of battleship known as the dreadnought sparked a tremendous naval arms competition in the early 20th century. Compared to earlier ships, these ones were bigger, quicker, and better armed. Germany and Britain invested a great deal of money in creating fleets of these steel behemoths. Thousands of sailors were needed to run a single dreadnought, which cost as much to build as a small city. Shells weighing close to 1 ton could be fired from their weapons across a distance of around 20 kilometers. In anticipation of the eventual collision of these fleets, the North Sea had grown to be the most heavily armed body of water on Earth by 1916. Number 9. Two admirals, two very different strategies. Admiral Sir John Jellicoe, a cautious and highly experienced officer in charge of the British Grand Fleet, recognized that all Britain had to do to win the naval war was to avoid defeat. The challenge for Germany's high seas fleet, commanded by Admiral Reinhard Scheer, was far more difficult. To end the British blockade, Germany needed to win handily. Every choice made during the conflict was influenced by this divergence in tactics. Scheer had to take chances, while Jellicoe put fleet survivability and positioning first. Desperation and patience clashed during the Battle of Jutland. Number 8. The German trap and British overconfidence. Germany has a well-thought-out plan. As bait, Admiral Scheer dispatched the swift battle cruisers of Vice Admiral Franz von Hipper into the North Sea. While German submarines and the main fleet waited nearby, these ships were designed to incite a British chase. British Vice Admiral David Beatty gave the order for a vigorous chase because he was certain that his ships were superior. This choice was a reflection of the Royal Navy's risky overconfidence in its ability to win with just speed and weaponry. Beatty's ships unintentionally got closer to the German fleet's jaws as they raced south. Number 7. The run to the south and a shocking reality. A terrible reality became apparent when German and British battlecruisers engaged in gunfire. German artillery was more precise, and their shells severely damaged British armor. British battlecruisers handled ammunition dangerously carelessly and put speed ahead of safety. Entire ships detonated as German shells got to British magazines. Massive explosions destroyed HMS Indefatigable Queen Mary and Invincible, killing nearly all of the crew. Witnesses reported feeling shockwaves and towering fireballs from a great distance. The Royal Navy was shocked by these losses, which also revealed dangerous design defects. Number 6. The moment of maximum danger. The fight reached its most crucial point when Admiral Jellicoe's main fleet arrived. By skillfully maneuvering his ships to cross the T, Jellicoe put the German fleet in a lethal posture that allowed British ships to launch full broadsides. Germany was in danger of being destroyed for a few dreadful minutes. Nevertheless, Admiral Scheer showed audacious leadership by directing a precisely timed fleet turn and attacking with torpedoes to make the British move defensively. The German fleet was able to avoid annihilation and maintain its fighting power thanks to smokescreens and precise cooperation. Number 5. Nightfall turns the sea into a battlefield of fear. The battle's character drastically changed as night fell. Communication grew erratic, visibility declined, and ships suddenly moved into close proximity to one another. German crews exploited this pandemonium since they had received substantial training for night fighting. British ships were hit by torpedoes, which sent sailors into the frigid North Sea with little prospect of survival. Within minutes, many guys perished from hypothermia or drowned. The night combat was brutal, perplexing, and terrifying rather than heroic. Number 4. Dawn reveals the cost of the battle. Both fleets were worn out and damaged by the return of daylight on June 1st. Bodies, oil slicks, and wrecks dotted the sea. Germany had lost 11 ships and over 2,500 men, while Britain had lost 14 ships and almost 6,000 sailors. Under the waves, entire crews had disappeared. Telegrams would be sent to families alerting them to the loss of brothers, husbands, and sons at sea, with no remains to bury. The bloodiest naval battle of the conflict was the Battle of Jutland. Number 3. Tactical loss, strategic victory. Although Germany inflicted greater losses, the strategic outcome favored Britain. The German high seas fleet retreated to port and never again attempted a full-scale battle against the Royal Navy. Britain maintained its naval blockade, slowly strangling Germany's economy and weakening civilian morale. Unable to challenge British surface ships, Germany turned to unrestricted submarine warfare, a decision that would eventually bring the United States into the war. In the long run, Jutland helped seal Germany's fate. Number 2. The end of an era in naval warfare. Traditional battleship warfare came to an end with Jutland. The conflict demonstrated the vulnerability, cost, and indecision of large fleets of gun-armed ships. Naval strategy would soon be dominated by planes, submarines, and eventually aircraft carriers. This kind of fight between two powerful battleship fleets would never occur again. Before the modern era altered the oceans, Jutland was the final scream of an antiquated style of warfare. Number 1. Why the Battle of Jutland still matters today. The Battle of Jutland is still a potent military strategy lesson more than a century later. It demonstrates that control, perseverance, and long-term effects are more important indicators of success than destruction. The troops who fought at Jutland changed naval combat forever and influenced how World War I turned out. Their sacrifice guaranteed that the sea would continue to play a pivotal role in international conflicts. The Battle of Jutland was a struggle of strategy, steel, and survival rather than a straightforward victory or defeat. The balance of power in World War I was decided by the thousands of sailors who perished beneath the waves. There are still stories from the past that need to be shared. So if you like this in-depth examination of history like the video, subscribe to the channel and set on notifications.